This episode of Road Soda is brought to you by Shit Salt. What's the worst part of owning a dog? The shit. Some dogs eat their shit, but not all of them. We are here to change that.
I have 3 dogs. The Shih Tzu is nasty, and the Pomeranian is my princess. The Schnauzer, that's the one that shits all over the house. That had a major impact on my relationship with the dog. Then we got Shit Salt, and the results are awesome. He still shits everywhere, but now he eats them all. Now he's my favorite. He even has his own spot on the bed.
Sprinkle Shit Salt on any existing dog dew in your yard, and our proprietary blend of exotic spices will make that dew virtually irresistible to your dog. Your yard stays clean, your dog stays full, and you save money on pet food. Try it free for 30 days, and at the end of your trial, if you miss scooping shit, we'll give your money back guaranteed. You can even keep that shit salt. Shit Salt. Salt that shit. A Popco brand. Hello. Hi. Hey.
Greetings.
Hey. I'm doing the intro.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, I'm sorry, Justin. I didn't mean to jump at you. But
I'm a beta. It's fine.
that's okay. We can't have 2 betas sitting across from each other. It's going to be nothing but an apologizing circle. Hello and thank you for cracking another Road Soda. This is episode 127. That's a lot of cans of Road Soda. You might want to pull over and empty out those cans. You might want to get some of those out of there. Doesn't look good when you have a...
Doesn't look good.
Doesn't look good for driving around with hundreds of cans of Road Soda in your car there. On this episode, I'm really sorry about Guildlings. I passed my test, but there was some casualties, and Justin brings to us a brand new segment. I'm Isaiah Cooper.
I'm Justin Mitchell.
And thanks for cracking one, guys. Yeah, the Road Soda, thank you again. Here we are, continuing to move along into our new year. Got some interesting mail. You guys, everyone can always write into roadsodamail@gmail.com and send us, links to things you want us to read or send us your comments and whatnot. I got an email from, you guys might remember him, Greg McGinnis.
Hey,
our old, he actually sent us a couple of emails, but they were links to looks like news articles, and I just wanted to touch on these real quick. I should have put these in the news segment there, but you know what? We can just do this real quick. Zoo will name a cockroach after your ex and live stream it being fed to an animal.
that's wonderful.
Isn't it? Yeah. Greg's comment said, this is an ingenious matching of some of our most abundant resources: roaches, rats, and ratchet ex-girlfriends.
Yeah, man. Okay, first of all, great. Great beats. Number 3, I can't count. Number 7, this is a great way to bring revenue into the zoo.
It really is. This Valentine's Day may give you a newfound appreciation for cockroaches and rats. There are 2 things we've all dreaded at some point: Valentine's Day and encounters with creepy crawlers like cockroaches and rats. I think we get the idea of what's going on. But that's really funny. I'll actually put that article as well in the details down at the bottom so you can read it for yourself. He did one more, and it says 70% of pure human blood ready for transfusion found to contain Xanax. And he said, one thing American people are not divided on: fucking Xanax. And it says, yeah, that's the news article. I put that one down there too. It's those are the kind of news articles we're looking for. I should have just done those. And of course, you guys can always call into the show. Mm-hmm. We have a phone number. You call in, it goes to voicemail. You leave a message, and we'll play it. It's 706-200-1213. And we have a voicemail here. So, that's Twitter. I always mix up Twitter and Skype. Let's go ahead and play this. Crank it up.
Hey, it's Grant with my review of Guildlings. It kept my attention, and I played through the end of the chapter. I guess an update's supposed to come out, and there will be another chapter in the adventures. But for now, the game is kind of done.
Did you say done or dumb?
It was... I think I just don't quite get how to do the the combats and when to play what type of action. Also, I kind of want to play games to make myself happy, not to make other characters happy in the game, to maintain their emotional levels. And I got tired of all the text form talk with emojis and whatnot. Final note for previous week's game, the animation style reminded me of Super Jail.
Oh,
and, maybe
yes!
that'll start another conversation.
Nailed it.
Good luck with the podcast, and hope you found a job, you worthless bum, Isaiah. If not, I hope you found a trail. Thanks. Bye.
Grant, you are a man among men, and I could not have said it better.
I want to meet Grant.
We will meet Grant. Don't worry. There will be. We got to set up a time and everything because he's so involved with the show, just like all of our listeners, and we want to. We should definitely schedule a conversation and have him on and do a nice little conversation with Grant because he's a great fucking dude. His insights are perfect, and what he said, I play video games to make myself happy, not the characters in the game. And that dude could not have said it better. I commend your fortitude to even playing through the first chapter because I did not get that far. I think I got pretty close, but even still, thank you for at least trying and giving us your result, giving your review. Sorry, whoa. And what did he say? He said the last game was like Super Jail. Was he talking about Grindstone?
Yeah, he's saying Grindstone. The art style reminds him of Super Jail. He nailed it. Yeah, it's very similar.
Yeah, I do. I remember Super Jail. You know, the thing about Super Jail is every time I saw the episode, every time I saw the show, it was always the same episode that was on. Yeah, it was the first episode.
Yeah, I had a similar thing where every time it was on, it was a handful of the same ones. Yeah, because I didn't always get to watch it when it was fresh.
Yeah, it's always it was always the same episode. It was where the warden gave bunny costumes and wolf costumes to all the inmates.
Oh, right.
And there was no rhyme or reason to why he was doing it, but it also obviously caused insane conflict. Like the wolves were just killing all the bunnies. And yeah, so thank you very much to Grant. Again, you guys can all call in 706-200-1213. Become a part of the show. Thank you guys for listening. Hey, we're still giving out postcards. So if anybody hasn't had a postcard, if you send us your mailing address to roadsodamail@gmail.com, we still got plenty of those postcards, and we love to send them to you guys so you can have some cool memorabilia. But now, how about another word from our sponsors?
This episode of Road Soda is brought to you by 23 and More.
23andMe predicts how you're going to die. At 23 and More, we predict how you should live. By analyzing your DNA, 23 and More knows exactly what you need to do to optimize your potential. At only 5'7", Spud Webb won the NBA dunk contest, and that is amazing. But 23 and More results show he would have been the Michael Jordan of accounting.
I used to work the fryers at McDonald's, but then my 23 and More results showed me I wasn't living my best life. Now I'm the fry guy at Burger King, and things are really looking up.
I was a dean of a community college, but I felt like I still had more potential. 23 and More helped me realize my true calling, and now I drive a cab. 23 and More. Find out who you're supposed to be.
It's news. We got some new stuff that happened this week. Right from the top, I had this article that I sent to you. It wasn't much of an article, it was more of a video, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to do this, but I just want you to see how outrageous this is. Does it have can you read the headline?
I sure can. This comes to us from My Suncoast, ABC7. Intense video, car crashes into Calif, period, probably California, roundabout, going airborne.
Right, so in California, this car crashed into a roundabout, goes airborne. Now, you think something going airborne, it's going to it's going to go a little airborne,
it's gonna
right?
hop.
It's going to hop, right? Well, just because it's the news and they're trying to really sell it to you. I'm going to put this news article in all the news articles are always in the show notes, so you can see this for yourself. So if you go into the description right now, you can find this link and you can watch this video. This is fucking crazy. I'm
going to turn up my volume.
Because you haven't actually. I
haven't seen this.
It's all like street cam, so I don't think there is volume.
All right, no volume. I'm going to turn my volume back down.
So Justin hasn't seen this yet.
You guys are going to get my live, unfiltered reaction. All right, it's a roundabout. What the fuck?
Dude, look at how many.
It does a backflip.
Do you see how many angles there are?
Wow.
Dude, how many?
Zoom.
Dude,
Oh, it doesn't do a backflip. It goes almost backflip.
how many feet would you say this car
Could
traveled
you
in the air?
imagine if... Oh, you know what really sucks? Is that there's a lot of cars parallel parked on the side of the street.
Yeah.
And the car that gets airborne actually just lands in the road. But it kicks a rock up that just ruins one dude's car. So there's like 30 cars there. And that one dude, it's like, oh, man.
It was like, yeah, you could see
Poor
it really
guy.
fuck up. But dude, isn't that out? It looked like a movie jump. Like I've seen viral videos of guys being like, we built this dirt jump, we're gonna jump it in our backyard, like on their private property, that don't get as much air as this fucking. Like, how do you even get that air? What did he hit? How fast was he going, and what ramped him into the fucking air that fast? Why were there so many goddamn angles of it recorded? Like all the street cams. Like, is in California? Is this like a movie thing, like a movie teaser? Like there's no other cars on the road and he just hits that roundabout going like 80.
So here's what I think. It did hit a boulder, and that boulder is what damaged that one car.
Okay.
I'm assuming that it hit the curb
Right.
of the little roundabout, which kind of gave its front end.
Little pop.
It was going very fast.
Very
and then I
fast.
think that as it kept going, it hit that tip of that boulder, which launched it.
Just
and
launched.
then since it hit the tip of the boulder, that would make the boulder roll. So
What a fucking dude. That
holy
guy.
shit.
Holy shit is right, dude. Oh man. So that's a fun one, and not much of a news article there. So now we go to our other news articles. This one I just said Hardy Har, and I hope this one is
Hardy har.
I don't remember exactly. I never remember.
Have you noticed that my yes and to you most of the time is just repeating what you said, but differently?
I never noticed. You shouldn't have said something.
I shouldn't have said something.
Florida man looking for auto parts store gets directions to jail.
All right, that's not a man.
What is that? A ghoul?
Yeah, like... You ever see those pictures on like Reddit or whatever, and it's like so-and-so is celebrating their 104th birthday, and the person has like a toothless smile. It's like an old Asian woman, and you're
Yeah.
like, God, she just doesn't, like, is it okay to be alive? That's what this looks like.
This guy, are you saying this guy looks to be 104?
Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause that's about twice as old as he actually
Yeah.
is. A 63-year-old Florida man, as usual, fucking represent, seeking directions to an auto parts store, instead found himself in jail. So what's so wrong about trying to get to an auto parts store?
I need to know.
You're too old to drive, sir. Deputies say Juan Zamora flashed his headlights at a Marion County. Hey, officer, get over here. He's flashing his headlights at the cop. Probably a wrong move. Squad car on Saturday night. The deputy stopped and Zamora asked him how to get to an auto parts store. What do I look like? Fucking MapQuest? Get in the back of the car.
So he was drunk, this guy. He says it smelled alcohol on
Yep,
him.
definitely
so,
smell alcohol. That'll do it.
Yeah.
You can't fix your car. You're too drunk. I just the Hardy Har was from the slick headline that they gave. Whoever wrote that was like, "This is it. This is my moment."
I'm gonna get promoted.
He walked into the room that day and be like, "Hey, you had a pretty good article. Did you see the one I put in?
Yeah.
See that one?
Yeah. It becomes like the how many miles did you hike of it. It's
Right.
like, oh, my headline was pretty on the nose, but
You know, it's pretty clever.
yeah.
Yeah. The editor actually called me up and complimented me. This one just says, what? This one is actually like, I'm excited to talk about this just for the conversation it could start. Forced
just saw this.
Forced vasectomy at 50? Alabama lawmaker reacts to pushback. And so right there in the headline kind of tells you forced vasectomy at 50. What is it? Some guy needs to get... No. It's not some guy. An Alabama lawmaker has proposed a bill that would require a man to undergo a vasectomy at age 50 or after he has fathered a specific number of children.
Yeah, and also here's what I think, because I've seen a picture of that woman there.
Is that the one that made the lawmaker?
Yeah. So here's what I think. I think that woman wants to get down with some unprotected sex without having to worry about getting pregnant,
Right.
and she's typically fucking men over 50.
Right. So they think that's what it is, just a real personal thing. And she's like, well, I'm a lawmaker. How am I going to fix this? I mean, she could just fix herself. No. Everyone else needs to be fixed.
Everyone else needs to be fixed.
Filed by Representative Roland Hollis, District of Birmingham. would require a man to undergo a vasectomy after the birth of his third biological child. So if you're like 30 and you've had your third child, they're like, well, that's great. Let me see your dick real quick. Snip, snip. Or within a month of his 50th birthday. Happy birthday. This bill also says the procedure would be done at the man's expense. Oh yeah, and that'll be $150.
Yeah, more like $750. I've been looking at vasectomies. They're not
Damn,
cheap.
bro. Well, that's like, I read this whole article. It's not very long. Of course, you can check it out in the description here. It doesn't explain why. Like, what's the reasoning behind it? It just says this is what would happen, but why? Why does that need to happen?
I don't know. Maybe they're having a lot of like, poverty level people having too many kids.
I mean, that's never been a problem before, right? It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing I mean, I obviously think it's too strange to force men to, I don't think we can do that. I don't think that'll work. But, I don't know, made me imagine, what if it did happen? Is there too many people? I think there's not enough. In fact, the population, you have to have 2 kids to replenish population. Mm-hmm. And America is like one of the only countries, it's been a static 2.3 replenishment rate, which means it's just right at keeping it level and slightly above to make the population continue to grow, which is exactly what you need to make all your social systems work. Mm-hmm. If it drops below, within a couple of generations, Social Security immediately starts to hemorrhage on the state. Mm-hmm. and all those systems that you have built where people pay into them as younger, and then when you get older, you take back. When there's nobody young paying into it, it becomes top heavy. It fucks up. There's a massive list of countries with dwindling birth rates that is completely fucked up. It's so strange. And in Alabama, I don't know. Maybe there's something else going on in Alabama. They're trying to mitigate it. It just seems a really strange thing. The definition of insanely common. It is insane how common. That's just what I put here. Woman didn't know she was pregnant.
Dude, I'm so sick of these stories.
I want to just gather one day, just do all these news articles. Because, yeah, me too. It's insane how common this is. Gives birth in her bathtub. Like, this is not the first time we've done an article like this. There's a TV show about this. It just doesn't.
How can you be pregnant?
Look, we're not women, so maybe there's something we're missing. But a softball coach in Texas says she gave birth to a 7-pound girl. It's a big fucking baby. But had no clue she was even pregnant. Just didn't know you had 7 pounds of life living in you. Brittany Derlek says she thought she had an upset stomach. Yeah, I bet. Until she pushed out a baby.
Can we just talk about how, like, the context of that? If I had an upset stomach, I was just going to blast a dookie in the bathtub. Boom, baby.
Boom, baby. Yeah. Why was she in the bathtub?
I did.
That's the thing that there's. So she got into the bathtub. Her mom drew her a bath, and she's like, "Get in the bath. Your stomach hurts." And then she started pushing in the bath. Was she literally prepared to take a shit in the bath?
That's what it sounds like.
So it was to her, there was no baby involved. To her, it was the bath is warm. It's going to help this massive fucking. Is that something she's done before? Has she had an upset? That's the only way she.
It's a family remedy. You just, if you have diarrhea, your stomach's a little upset, we're just going to draw you a warm bath with some Epsom salt, and you're going to lay in there. You're going to relax, and you're just going to let that shit all come out. Just let it all work itself out.
Fill it up, and then you wipe it on your skin.
Yeah,
and it soaks back in the nutrients that you're losing.
Yeah, it's an exfoliant.
It's an exfoliant on you. Got to let it sit for 3 days.
Okay.
Oh shit! It's a baby. Well, that's not going to help your stomach. Yeah, dude. It says here. I don't remember exactly where it says. She says I didn't know because I continued to have. Yeah, I got my menstrual cycle every month. Did anyone contest that? Was anyone like, what? Like, was there a doctor like, what? You had your? Is that a common thing? Like, I'm not a doctor. But is that something that happens where there's women who are pregnant that continue to have their menstrual cycle?
I I don't know. I feel like it, maybe, but it doesn't make sense. But also,
Yeah, it seems like it would be an
know.
insanely rare thing, and like the doctors would be like, "Come in here. We need to. What the fuck happened?
Yeah.
We need to test you. How that? It's yeah." Yeah, these articles, I just want to gather all these articles and do them all at once. And this is, of course, the very, very last one for you guys. KFC and Crocs set out to make your dreams of wearing a bucket of chicken come true.
I'm so happy
I know.
this moment.
I've dreamed of nothing else. Every day I wake up and I go, I just wish I had a borderline ugly, smelly rubber shoe that was designed to look like my favorite restaurant's food container.
It looks so bad.
Dude, it's a Croc. How are they going to make it look good?
Yeah, but it looks worse than normal.
Yeah, they made it KFC.
Guys, just
What
so
do
you
they
know,
think?
the sole and bottom part of the shoe is red and white, like the famous
Right.
buckets of chicken, and the Croc portion, the top portion, literally is just graphics of fried chicken.
Of fried chicken, so it looks like you got your feet in a bucket of chicken.
Yeah.
You know what I like? You know what I always imagine every time I sit down to a nice bucket of KFC fried chicken? I say, you know what? It would make me feel real good. If I could
tell me.
just slide my bare foot into this nice, warm, crispy bucket of chicken and just soak. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just soak.
Just soak.
Let all your cares and worries
If there
just
was
drift away.
A multi-million-dollar corporations that could somehow just, make my dreams come true, come together and produce something, make my dreams come true. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, you should check this. I actually tweeted this to Patton Oswalt.
Did you?
Yeah, I don't think he actually responded. I haven't looked, but just because he's got all those KFC jokes and everything, this is just, it's preposterous, dude. They know what they're doing. Look at that, dude. Oh, my God. I kind of want a pair now. I'm excited to see if we can find anyone wearing it. That's your news. We'll see you again next week with your news.
This episode of Road Soda is brought to you by Crest Taint Whitening Strips.
The top taint scientists got together, and the results are sparkling. Crest Taint Whitening Strips. For a taint so bright white, you'll need an eye mask for your asshole.
I've heard all the same promises. 10% whiter, 20% less burning. Big business is constantly lying its way onto my taint. Sometimes my taint is arguably brighter, but then the burning increases. Or, when they come out with a product that doesn't burn quite as much, I don't get compliments on my taint. What will make these strips any different?
Those assholes at Colgate don't know their taints from their teeth. Our guys called their lab, and they are using the exact same strips at both ends. Teeth strips on your taint? What are you, an idiot? Crest Taint Whitening Strips. For a white so bright, your balls will call your asshole to shut the hall light off.
A Popco brand.
So that's probably the name of the episode.
I'm excited about it.
As everyone recalls, last week I talked about how I lost my job.
Because you guys would never miss an episode.
Of course. Interesting little fun fact. Our old co-host, Greg, called me up, and he texted me, messaged me, and he said, hey, I listened to the episode. There's a couple things on there you might not want to so openly say. He's like, you never know what could possibly happen. So I actually went back through the last episode and bleeped out the names of some things and whatnot, just in case. You never know. Like, I'm very confident that like nobody listens. So I know that it's but just on the off chance, like I don't need that ruined. It sucks enough having lost a job once. I don't need to lose it again, right? So where we left off last week was that I had to take a drug test, right? So I had like the week off, and what they were, they said they were gonna message me like this information, and I had to take care of it throughout the week, and it was a background check. So I got on and I started put in all the information for the background check, and then it told me I have to go to I had until like the end of the week to get to a Quest Diagnostics to test, right? And I was really, after the last episode, I honestly went home and was like really like torn up about, like not torn up, but I was thinking about like where am I going to get pee? I want to buy it because I'm like out of work. And I was like, who can I get it from? I was like, maybe my dad. I was like, but I don't know what kind of medications my dad's on that might show up on there. Like, I never know. And then I was like, my son, but I was like, how do I get his pee out of a diaper? Like, how do I get his pee?
And also, you know, what kind of hormones or what kind of things are going to show up? And they're like, this man has the testosterone levels of a 2-year-old, a literal 2-year-old. He is 2, right?
He's not. No,
Like
he's
18.
No, he's
months?
like only 14.
Oh my God, 14 years old already.
I know, right? They grow fast.
God, I can't wait to just hang out with your kid and like get him playing instruments and stuff.
Dude, I think he might be into drums.
Dude,
he gets excited when he sees them.
Here's the deal. This is a non sequitur, but I romanticize the idea of Adlai being like my god nephew.
Yeah.
And because I romanticize the idea of having a kid and just being like, from a very young age, like, this is guitar, this is bass, this is trumpet, this is drums, like really getting them exposed to music. I don't care what they choose, but like really raising a virtuoso and like just letting them explore and giving them or like whatever, if they want to be actor or comedian or whatever, you know, like, but like getting them into the arts early and like letting them have the opportunity to pursue that as a dream. So Adlai is going to be my project.
Hey man, have that project, because that's my same sentiment towards him. I don't care what he finds inspiring. I'm just excited to find out what it is so that I can help him pursue it. Like, I'm really excited about it. I already got a really strong feeling he's going to be dope at soccer, and he's going to play a lot of soccer.
Is that a Billy Madison reference? Or
I wish it was. I mean, it is like, we're going to be a soccer player, but no, his mom played soccer, and his grandfather on his mom's side played soccer in Israel, like almost professionally, and really, really good. So ever since he was like an infant, like really small, like no words, but could just laugh, watching somebody kick a ball around made him laugh hysterically. And then if you like held him by his like chest and let his feet on the ground and you put a ball on the ground, it made him laugh and get so excited to like kind of run after it and kick it. So like you would be holding him. He wasn't actually walking, but he loved that shit. And even now, I think he's, anyway, let's not get too far out in the
piss
bushes.
test.
So this piss test, man, what's great is I realized I haven't told you and how it went and everything, but so I went home and I'm like, how am I going to get it? And my friend, Brian, everyone knows Brian, just happened to text me. Like when I was in the midst of thinking about it, and he texted me and said, "What's up, dude?" And I just immediately messaged him back and I said, "You got clean piss?" And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "I need it." And so he, the next day, he works like just right up the street from my house. So I went up there and he's like, "Hey, I got some piss for you. Want to come grab it?" I went up there and he had a Smart water bottle filled to the top with piss. I was like, I don't think I'm gonna need that much piss. It's a lot of piss, man. And so then I started reading some articles that made me like really scared about what I was doing. I was like, man, am I going to be able to pass? Like, what if they watch? I started reading the difference. Like, there's 3-panel, 5-panel, 9-panel, 12-panel, and each one, the number indicates how many drugs they're testing for. So obviously 12 panels are like, they're like super expensive, and they're super like, they might take hair and blood and shit, and like they test for drugs that you wouldn't even think of. Not to mention there's drugs that you wouldn't think of that would test separately, but they would. So like if they're testing for opiates in your system, it's not going to detect like methadone in your system. Like that's a separate thing, even though it gives you essentially the same effect. So methadone's like a synthetic thing that's different, but either way. So this was a 5-panel, and I remember discussing with you when we were on the way to that concert, which we'll discuss in a little bit, that I was worried. The only thing I was worried about was, can they test the age of the piss? Not like, oh, this person's older than it, but I mean, will they be able to know that this piss...
like, do these proteins break down or something?
Yes. Is this pee old, like weeks old pee that they're using? And I Googled it, and when I typed in age of piss, the only thing that kept coming up was the age of the person peeing, right? So nowhere did it ever say anything like that. And then I spoke to a couple of different people who all passed tests this way, and each person, it was just 2 of them, they said that they used dehydrated, it was like powdered urine, and then they add water to it, and that in itself was like if you're getting dehydrated, and even if it's synthetic dehydrated urine, there's no way that it's going to show the right age. How are they going to mimic that, right? So I just thought that was something they're not even, it's like probably, I'm sure they can test for that, but it's just so advanced and they're not doing it, right? So that eased. So then it just came down to like, I have to get it the right warmth. And I was a little worried because people kept saying they were using heating pads, that like the little hot hands. But the last guy I talked to said his never actually worked. So he was just afraid and he just left it up in his like in his taint, gooch taint, longer to like warm it up. So basically that's all I did. I went to the store and I bought a little bottle. It was like a little travel shampoo bottle, and it was slender, not perfectly round, more like oblong. And I put it up in my taint, and I only used a strip of tape like this big, and I taped it.
He held up maybe like 8 inches of
8 inches,
tape.
yeah. And I taped it to the inside of my thigh, but like all the way up in my taint, because it was like that oblong kind of shape. It fit right up in there, and then the cap itself was facing forward. So if and my coin purse would be hanging over the front of the cap. So honestly, if I was standing there naked and you were looking at me head on, you wouldn't even see it. Granted, if they like got me naked and started testing it, you could see it from behind, like coming out, but you couldn't see it. So my plan was to, put it up right before I left, because it would probably be like a 20-minute drive, and then I'd probably have to sit for 20 minutes. And by then, the 3-ounce bottle that I bought that pee would be basically body temperature, and I should be good to go. Because that's it worked. Like I got there, it was nice and warm, and dude, when it got kind of uncomfortable sitting on it, just because it was just weird, and I was trying to act normal, and I was so nervous because I don't do stuff like this. Like I don't try to deceive organizations and people and stuff. Like it was nerve-wracking, right? It was fucking nerve-wracking. But dude, they called me back, and the lady, so I had all these plans. I was like, well, what if it's not warm enough? And I was like, here's an idea. If it's not warm enough, what I'll do is I'll turn the hot water on in the bathroom, and I'll run the hot water over the outside of the cup, because I was under because there's like a thermal sticker that they put on it to make sure it reaches the right temperature. And I was like, so that way it'll definitely be warm enough.
But some places specifically say don't run the faucet.
Yeah, so I got there was no sink in the bathroom. Also, when she handed me the cup, it was just some fucking plastic cup with nothing on it, and she just took a Sharpie and drew on it and said, fill it up to there. And I was like, I thought like the last time I peed, there was like a little heat sticker on it.
Yeah,
the place
the place I went to for my job was like the door was open.
Yeah?
Yeah, and like it had a thermal sticker and stuff. It was very...
Yeah, so she just drew a line on it, and then she was like, okay, and there's the bathroom, and I closed the door, and she said, I couldn't remember what she said, because I remember standing there for a minute being like, what she said. Did she say don't lock the door or flush the toilet when you're done? There was like something she said, and so I'm standing there, and I had to real pee too, like bad, like it had built up, and I had to pee really, really bad. So my plan was to, fill the cup up with this stuff, and then do my own pee. So like, oh, there's real pee in there. Like there's, I can look in the toilet. Dude, I get in there, I close the door, and I'm like shaking, and I'm like, oh shit, dude, and I'm worried that when the thing pops open, it makes a loud like pop noise. I'm like, it's gonna echo in this bathroom. You're gonna hear it, and I open it, and I take my my junk and I lift it up, and because I thought the pee would just start coming out, but because there's no way for the air to get in, it's just in there. So I'm like, I gotta squeeze this thing. So I'm just starting to like try to squeeze my thighs, and that's not working. So I'm like reaching behind to try to like squeeze the bottle to like get it out. But now, because I have one hand behind and I need another hand to hold the cup, I'm holding the cup and squeezing it from behind, and as I'm squeezing it, the pee starts coming out, and it's just getting all over my dong bag.
So Brian's piss is all over your balls.
All over my balls. Like it's just, dude, they had to take, there had to be some casualties, and it came out, and it would just come out, and it would just hit the back of the sack, and then just drip into the cup. And because of that, I knew it was warm. So I knew it was probably the right temperature, but then I get it on, and it's just shy of that little line, and I set the cup down, and I'm like, okay. And I told you this recently, and I actually told it to you at the when we were at that show, because I tried to go pee twice. In recent months, I have become pee shy. And so, like, being in a public bathroom and there's, like, a line out the door and everyone's waiting for, like, another spot, like, dude, that was almost... It took me 2 times to go pee, even though I really had to go pee. I had to pee so fucking bad, but just being in there with the pressure of, like, dude, you have to make some piss in this toilet or you might not get this job. They might know that... They're like, we didn't even hear any pee in the toilet. It's just... You just came out, filled that cup up and brought it out. That's pretty good. How'd you get that perfect amount of piss, right? And I'm sitting there and I'm just panicking, like, please, for the love of God, just fucking pee, please. And then all of a sudden I hear her talking to someone else on the other side of the door. And I'm like, she's not even paying attention. Oh my God, she's not even paying attention. So I zip up my pants and I flush the toilet and I walk out and it was like, thank God, she just wasn't even paying attention. She wasn't listening for me. She wasn't, but I hand it to her and it was a little shy and I'm sitting there like shaking, watching her with it. And she pours it into 2 other little things and takes it. And then she hands me the 2 little things and she says, she might have stuck something in it to measure the temperature, but I didn't see it. I was just so like, I was literally shaking because she hands me the little things to write on. And if she would have looked at my hand and my signature was just like shaking. And then that was pretty much it. She was like, okay, well, that's it. You can
passed?
Go now. Well, so then it was just 3 days of me waiting, hopefully till Friday when the job called me. Because whenever a job calls you after you take a test, they don't go, hey, you passed, we want to hire you. They just go, hey, you're going to start on this date. That's like, and if you go, oh, I passed, they'll be like, maybe you should go take it again. You know, like, so thankfully yesterday it was around 3:00 and I got a call and they said, yeah, so we'll see you at 9:00 on Monday. So, dude, yeah, it was a huge fucking relief. And I told Brian that, like, I texted him after I left, and it was funny because there was a buildup. Like, I was texting him on my way there. I'm like, dude, I'm so nervous. This is rough. And then when and then afterwards, of course, I texted him. I was like, oh yeah, and your piss got all over my sack, right? And dude, he thought that was the funniest shit in the world. But dude, honestly, it's not the first time I've had Brian's piss on me. Like, that's something else I fucking realized. You guys used to party. Yeah, there was and that was, he would sleep piss. He would pass out drunk and then wake up and pee in places. Anyway, so yeah, that was thankfully everything worked out, and I don't know if it lucked out or however it worked out. I'm very thankful, dude, because I definitely need this job, and it's not like I'm doing any crazy fucking hard drugs, man. It's 2020. Right.
And you know, I think you told me this, and I heard some other people tell me this, that some jobs will test for a lot of things, and if you fail for weed, they don't care. Yeah,
there's some jobs that can actually have like a discretion, like their discretion. But for, I think most part, it's like insurance thing. So like especially if there's heavy equipment. Or
like workers' comp. And also to qualify for a drug-free workplace, you have to drug test every new hire or a percentage of new hires. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, and obviously being a drug-free workplace gets you a new tax bracket. Like, so you get a tax break.
You don't get tax breaks, but to pursue certain federal work. So if I'm going to do a proposal for a city of Sarasota to do wetland monitoring, you get extra points.
Right.
Or you might be required to be a drug-free workplace.
Right. So if you're bidding for the work, you mean?
Right. So you and I are exactly the same. We get all the same points.
And I got a bunch of weed heads over here.
Yeah, I'm a drug-free. You're not. I'll get the thing because I get extra 3 points.
And I'm sure, again, it comes down to like when they're insuring the job site and everything, that's what they require. Because if there's heavy machinery, that's like, it's part of the, it's just part of the thing, which I get it. I get that. But at the same time, I think there should be a little more discretion with marijuana, because I can show up to work fucking drunk, dude. Anyway.
Hello, everybody. This is a segment takeover.
What? No.
So my name's Justin Mitchell, and we're gonna try a segment out.
Hi, Justin.
I think is gonna be great. Hello. And if you guys like it, we're gonna keep doing it. Honestly, we're probably just gonna keep doing it. And basically what we're going to do, there's a website called Reddit, which is slowly becoming like Facebook. It's like a new social media, right? It used to be a little more fringe, and now it's very mainstream. And one of the most popular subreddits or little communities is called Shower Thoughts. Mm-hmm. And these shower thoughts are just one-sentence thoughts that someone might have in a shower. when you're just kind of washing your hair and you're like, huh.
There's something about the shower that just opens up the mind.
And so I'm going to pick one, the top one of the last week. Well, it's within the top 3 if I don't like the first couple. And we're just going to kind of philosophize on it.
Let's philosophize.
And think about, we're going to have shower thoughts. So this week's shower thought is that there must be a lot of different types of toilets in the Star Wars universe.
Huh.
And you think about that, like you think about the cantina, like there's a lot of different beings in there, and they've all got to shit in different ways.
They all have to shit in different ways. Do you think the cantina has like a bunch of doors, or they might just have like one door you go into and like a bunch of toilets in that door?
Yeah, I'm not sure. And I was just thinking about maybe they just have a pit, and it's like choose your own way. Like if you got to hang off the side, if you got to hover, if you got to,
Yeah, they just have like a big kind of pit, and they have it set up like
a shit pit.
Yeah, a shit pit, and they have like ropes for the people that need to like hang, or they might
and then they have like little attachments, so you can like for the aliens that have to like directly attach like almost like a catheter to their genitals in a way.
Or they have like some kind of contraption that's like a bed that lets them like kind of hang upside down because they got shit out the top of their head. I don't know where the butts are on all these other aliens.
Yeah, this is something that I've never really considered before, but there probably are.
I mean, do you think that if our bodies evolved in like zero gravity, our butthole might be behind our head?
You mean like if you're a species who's born into zero gravity?
Yeah, like you evolve through like you're in zero gravity or much less gravity, like your butthole might be under your armpit.
I'm also going to say that if you were a species who were kind of came into existence in zero gravity or low gravity situations, the projection force of however you shit is probably much greater because it's like, get this away from me.
You would need to get it away.
Like, I don't want to be floating around with this.
Like they would most absolutely have competition.
Or maybe they have like membrane.
Right.
And it like shits into like a bubble and then floats away. I want to hear about this competition though.
But the competition is like, I mean, obviously if there's some kind of force involved in your shit that gets it away, people are not people, but things are naturally going to want to try to do it better than each other.
Yeah.
Right?
Todd has such a great job, and he's so nice. Like, he does whatever I want. He's really great.
Todd's a great guy.
Yeah, but Carl can shit like 40 yards.
Yeah, that's like twice as far as...
Girl? Like
40 yards.
Are you hearing this?
And accurately.
Yeah, it's like, bing! I mean, like, he nails it. And it's just like, I'm really into athletes.
I know. That's like on their Wheaties box. They got like a special uniform that's just like basketball shorts with like a perfect hole in it.
Yeah. So, we had like the transgender kind of movement that's still ongoing about like, using whatever bathroom you want. And like, maybe we're going to have aliens come down in 20 years and we're going to have the same conversation again. It's like, I ain't using the Zarkon's shitter.
No.
I don't want my boy to see that.
That's wrong. It's immoral. And we're like, we don't get it.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Yeah. Dude, that is great. I was talking just the other day. Are you a Squatty Potty user?
No, but I want one. Pat has been advocating for them for years.
He's Asian, so his squat to shit is pretty on point. It's like they say that's like one of the driving reasons why there's like such a low instance of colon cancer in Asian countries, like in India and stuff, because they all squat to shit. And when you squat, it like actually opens your bowels more and lets everything out, so you don't have, what's the word I'm looking for?
Feces? I don't know.
Well, yeah, feces. It's like free radicals and
yeah.
toxins, like just living in your ass, like because you actually get it all out. And then I wanted to think, in America, where it's like very high because we're all like, not only is our diet low in fiber, but we also are shitting on toilets, so we're not bending all the way to like loosen our bowel. Is the instance of colon cancer less on people that are taller because their legs are a little longer, so they actually get more bend when they sit down on an average toilet?
This is a great shower thought in itself.
Is that a shower thought?
So you're tall.
It's a shit
How's
thought.
your colon?
I mean, it's okay. However, there is like it runs on my mom's side. My grandmother had like half her ass removed, and then my mom's got some colon troubles, like it hurts her. She's actually going through some tests right now, and then her brother actually has colon cancer right now, so they'll probably cut most of his ass out too.
Jesus.
But You know, he also like told himself he was going to get cancer, and then of course he got it.
Yeah.
Dude, he is such a whiny Jew. He just constantly like, oh, I'm hurting. I'm going to get cancer. I'm dying like that. And he was being earnest. I'm going to die. I'm going to get cancer. He came and he lived here for like a month. And I'll say this to his face. I don't give a shit. So don't think I'm talking shit about my uncle when he's not here. He lived here for like a year and bought a house and did some things. And then moved back to California, but the whole time he was here, he kept telling everybody that he's going to get cancer and he's going to die. On top of that, he ate for most meals of the day a Publix sub, just like processed nitrated meats, then pub subs, and just put that in his butt, and then was all hopped up on Ambience and stuff. So I'm sure he wasn't shitting normally, and got cancer just like he told himself he would.
If you had to get a ballpark, just before we close this segment out, how many different toilets do you think in the Star Wars universe? I'm going to go out on a limb and say about 10,000.
10,000
within the Star Wars, right? Like you think the galaxy, right? Like
galaxy
not the outer rim or anything. You know, just like straight up the galaxy. I'm going to say there are probably 10,000 different. Because look at all those houses in the Senate.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
so there's so for all the aliens. So is there 10,000 alien races?
No, I'm not. That was just a ballpark, but that's what I'm assuming. Right. You know.
I mean, that's a lot of different races.
It's a lot of different toilets.
I mean, but then again, we're talking about the size of a whole galaxy. I'm sure, you know who I bet who has thought about this?
Who?
What's his name? The guy that made Star Wars?
George Lucas.
George Lucas. Maybe we can just tweet at George Lucas and be like, hey, man, we have some really pertinent shit we need to know.
Yeah, my headcanon is all fucked up. I need to know where they shit.
Yeah, what's the bathroom situation at the cantina?
All right, look, so thank you for coming to Shower Thoughts. It's not always going to be shit-based, but honestly, I wouldn't be mad. So.
I wouldn't be mad either.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Justin, for that.
Ed Talks. Ideas to have. Listen to the most visionary people explain their visions on the Ed stage, like Rance McGarvenstein, inventor of shit salt.
I hated cleaning my dog's shit up just as much as the next guy. But I noticed that my dog ate his shit. But he didn't eat every shit. So I thought to myself, why doesn't he eat every shit? Could it be the taste of the shit? So then it hit me. Maybe that shit needs a little salt, and then he'd eat every shit. Shit salt. What a concept.
Get this complete Ed Talk and more at edtalks.com.
Ooh, dude, that is bad. I gotta get something different. You got that nice cup. Anyway, so we mentioned a couple times in there that about
we went
this.
to a concert.
We went to a concert. So, I mean, I've only been to like I think I told you it was 4 concerts.
Yes.
Yeah, so I've only been to 4 concerts my whole life.
Mm-hmm. Let me see if I can remember them.
Okay, please do.
I know Flogging Molly.
Yeah, that was. I'm kind of up in the air about which one was my first one, but I believe that was my first one.
And then there was Madonna that you went with your sister.
Yes.
But I don't remember the other 2.
So, maybe no. Now it's 4. I think it was only 3.
Yeah, that makes more sense to me.
So the other one is Jurassic 5.
Jurassic 5. That's what it was. Yeah.
Which Flogging Molly is my favorite band. It was like the first band as a kid that I like connected with, and I was like, because I grew up with 2 sisters, all I listened to was like NSYNC and shit, and like mainstream kind of poppy stuff. So I was playing, Tony Hawk Pro Skater, and
that's how I was introduced to them.
That game introduced a lot of people to a lot of great music, and that's how I found out about Flogging Molly. And I connected very deeply with them, and then I just listened to all their CDs ad nauseum, and finally went to one of their shows. Anyway, so when you last week, right after we were done recording, you're like, hey, Monday I'm going to be going to a show, and I'd love if you went with me. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, fuck it, dude. It's not like I have work. Mm-hmm. It's not like I have anything going on. So, and I love new experiences, especially since, I've more recently gotten into like metal. Mm-hmm. Dude, I'm actually really upset. I planned on today wearing the Pliny shirt.
Oh, right.
So Pliny is one of the opening bands. It's
Plini.
Yes, Pliny. And it is J-Man's like #1 guitar inspiration. Like this
Yeah,
dude
it's got to be.
yeah,
And
or at
he's
least-
not like he's getting more famous, but it's not like he's I don't know. There's just the way he plays lead is vocal. You know what I mean? Like it's not like shreddy. It's expressive, and like his idea of melody. Like I just watched a 2-hour Berkeley clinic where he didn't teach guitar. He like took questions and talked about how he perceives music, and he was talking about like his melody and hook structures and like what goes into writing this stuff.
So he did this Berkeley clinic?
Yeah, he just sat there for 2 hours and talked.
And it was like presented by Berkeley? Fuck yeah.
It was so awesome, man.
So this guy is like, he knows his shit. This guy is a musician, and being there, it was really fucking awesome. But you, just as his set ended, I believe, you left and you wanted to go grab yourself a beer. And then
it was as the openers ended.
as the opener. So
yeah,
it's just
because
before.
I mean the openers were good, but
were they like a local thing that?
No, they're pretty popular.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know, least popular than the other two people playing, but they're just not, you know, my favorite. And I knew I didn't want to miss Plenty and Periphery, and I knew that the line for the shop would be really, because I tried to go buy us shirts earlier on, and the line was like almost out the door to buy shirts. So I was like, well, I'll just roll the dice. Maybe they won't have one in my size. And I went and bought, I brought my buddy John as well. And I went and bought us shirts while
and when you came back, dude, I was pleasantly surprised. Like, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And there was a stranger in the crowd standing next to us. Like you gave us the shirts. Everything settled for a few minutes, and then all of a sudden I heard him go, "Hey man," and I turned around and I saw him like nudging you, and he goes, "Did you just buy your friends shirts?"
Yeah.
And you're like, "Yeah." I didn't hear exactly what you said, but I know you were like, "Yeah." And then what did he say? He was like,
yeah, I said, yeah, they're like, I was like, you know, they're my two best friends, you know, and he said, he's like, dude, I'm gonna write about this on Facebook. He goes, I just saw that shit, and he was like, that's all. He was like, what was weird is the way he was talking and his energy level and enthusiasm about that, which to me was just a very small gesture, you know, like it doesn't really matter. You would have thought he was drunk. But he was specifically not drunk. He was boycotting the cost of beer. So he might have been high.
Like, dude, fuck this shit. Yeah. $8 a beer. Unless he had like a tampon full of vodka stuffed up his butt.
He may have.
Yeah, but I saw him, dude. That same guy was in the mosh pit the entire time.
Yeah.
With his cell phone.
No. It was
video.
a different. Were there two people videoing?
No, it was just, I thought it was that guy, unless they looked exactly like they both had long
It was a metal
hair.
show. They looked the same. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It was a different guy.
It was a different guy. Okay.
Because that guy did, the guy had that mentioned the shirts had a cutoff t-shirt, and the guy who was filming, I remember him having a longer sleeve t-shirt.
Okay. Yeah, so that guy, there was this guy in the mosh pit and who was video recording up above his head the show while in the mosh pit.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro.
Well, and he was also like filming different people in the mosh pit, like in between the songs and stuff. Yeah.
I'm sure it's going to be a fun video to watch.
I wish I could find it. Oh, I should look up on YouTube.
Just like hashtags the yeah, you might be able to find it. But and then maybe you can find that guy's post about, you know, there's
so
still
funny.
goodness in the world. I went to a metal show. But yeah, so the first two bands were both instrumental. There was no vocals, but they were like slick metal bands. Like they were very, very good. They're more melodic than some of the stuff.
It falls into what they would call like prog, like progressive metal. So no vocals, interesting time signatures. It gets heavy sometimes, but if you notice, there was only one very brief breakdown and a mosh pit in the first band, and there were no mosh pits in Plenty. His songs, like even when they riff, they don't elicit that like heavy thing. It's more like head nod, like let's get down, you know. And then Periphery had mosh pits the whole time.
Yeah. So it was like
that was fucking.
There
brutal.
was one breakdown, and it was like that first band, right? Like their last song had that one breakdown, and all of a sudden you just saw a couple people start moving, and then the security guard just fucking appeared. This man was taller than me. He had to be like 6'4", 6'5".
Easy, yeah.
And all three of us did not see him at all.
Well, because I feel like he pushed between us because I got pushed out of the way by him.
Yeah, I got pushed out of the way, but it just felt like he came from really far left. He just like weaved
Yeah.
through a crowd, and like just as soon as there was like any hint of somebody like the sway of like a mosh pit maybe starting, this guy, it was like fucking blood in the water, dude. This security guard was immediately up in our shit, like just threw us back and pushed all of them forward. So that was like his whole thing. Like that's what he was doing. So anytime people were moshing, he would just stand on the edge to make sure it was contained. Like you want to mosh, you can mosh over there, dude. People would get close to me and just fucking bench him and show him. So, dude, yeah, that was my first. I didn't mosh. But you know, when Periphery started, like you said, you didn't skip a beat.
No,
I was like, because I was thinking the whole time, I'm like, is he gonna mosh? And I was like, he might like run in there at some point. But dude, was like, as soon as the music started, I turned and you like ran between us, and you're like, later.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it looked. So, how many like metal shows would you say you've been to? Like, how many times have you like moshed?
More than a dozen, but less than 2 dozen.
Okay.
You know, so actually not that much. I used to go to a lot of like punk and hardcore shows when I was younger, and I actually don't like to mosh in those mosh pits because they do a lot of like what they call dancing, and they're like kicking their legs and swinging their hands. And you've talked about people breaking their hands, hitting people on accident,
or on
like,
purpose.
Or
like
on
a lot of
purpose.
times they'll do it as like a way to hide it. I equated it to capoeira, like Brazilian dance fighting.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at them, oh yeah, they're dancing, but really
Yeah.
there's people out there for blood.
So definitely more than a dozen, but less than 2 dozen. So
Well, you knew what you were fucking doing, man.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah, like I think I've heard you explain the technique before. Like,
We talked about it on another podcast.
On another
yeah.
podcast, another episode. Yeah, keep your shoulders, your elbows in, keep your base low, and just kind of like bump into each other with. It seems like most people had that technique, and then there's 2 types of people I've noticed that are moshing at shows. And there's the people that show up to like actually jump in the pit and be thrown around to do the whole thing. And then there's people that get really excited about just being the wall, just being like the enforcers. Like they just want to stand right on the edge.
Yep.
And anytime they don't want to be in there, but anytime somebody gets close, they want to keep everybody in center.
Yeah, and a lot of times those are like guys who are a little older and they don't really feel like doing it anymore. And it helps because as you're moving in a circle, they push, they keep that energy going,
Yeah.
so that and it was good. The one thing that I loved the most was like you make friends in the mosh pit and it's very cathartic. But there was this girl in there. It was hard to determine her age. I wouldn't be surprised if she was 16, but I also wouldn't be surprised if she was in her early 20s. It was very difficult.
Yeah.
But she was very small.
Right.
And so she had like high mosh IQ as far as like knowing who was safe and who wasn't. And you would watch her, she would like come out of nowhere and like slam into me and smile and then like duck under a bunch of other people. And she was very aware.
I think I know who you're talking about. I thought there was a couple times I thought that was a dude.
Maybe, yeah.
But it could be
I could
either
see
way.
that. Yeah.
It was like a curly hair
Ponytail,
like
yeah.
Because there was a couple times I was like, oh, that person's gonna get hurt, and then I looked a little closer. I was like, is that a guy?
Yeah.
Couldn't tell, but either way, it was. And sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh, it's fine. Yeah. So it was fun, and just kind of bouncing around. And there were some times where I got tired, honestly, and I would go to the wall and like just kind of help catch my breath and stuff. But
you worked up a good sweat, man.
I was very fucking sweaty. Yeah. So what was funny is I'm going to tell you, the listeners, I'm going to tell you a weird thing that happened to me. I always try to make friends with the bouncers. And I also always wear the same red Buc-ee's t-shirt.
Yeah.
So it's bright red. It's got a beaver on it. People notice it.
Tell people what Buc-ee's is, because I think
Buc-ee's is like an institution. If you've ever driven through or lived in Texas, you know what Buc-ee's is. And a lot of metal shows, they tour, right? So they've been to Texas. So it's a good way to meet like the roadies or even the band members, and it's a good way to meet people. But also I wear it because in a sea of black, I have a big red shirt. And when you make friends with bouncers, their other goal is that if someone falls down, to help them up. So making friends with the bouncers, wearing a bright red shirt, it's a safety thing for me.
It is.
People are going to notice.
Yeah, we definitely made friends with the bouncers.
So there he is. Isaiah just Googled it. It's a goofy bucktooth beaver with a red baseball cap with his ears poking through.
And you explained it as a Walmart made love with the Wawas, because it's like a massive gas station
Look at
superstore.
that. Yeah, look at some of these photos. Yeah, it's crazy. So anyways, I like I said, I make friends with the bouncers, and at one point a breakdown ends, and the lights are a little brighter, and this bouncer turns to me, and he gives me a thumb. I'm gonna fuck up the order of things, but basically he from what I remember, he gives me a thumbs up, and he goes, "You're good, dude," and then he daps me. And I had no idea. I was like, man, I must be like really good at moshing. Like I don't know what. Right. That's a joke. I didn't actually think that, but
I mean, what do you think? Like, why is he?
Why would he say you're? And it was reassuring. Like, you're good, dude.
Right.
And then we were just standing there, and he was like, "This is some good shit." And it was just funny. We had like this moment, and then I went back and moshed and everything. And then Isaiah, later, will you tell the people why he probably said that?
Yeah. So there was these two. I mean, I don't want to put anybody into any kind of hole, but trashy girls, right? And they were there with their boyfriends, but their boyfriends were like mahjong, so they were right on the edge, and they weren't. So
they would get in the pit every now and then.
Yeah, and I think it was like just because it would get too intense. So when they got pushed, like so when the mosh would come too close to them, it would push them back. So then the people behind them would then be the enforcers and push everybody in. So like, but you could tell that was like their thing. Like we go and we just stand on the edge, and our boyfriends are in there, and we're just going to stand on the edge and keep everybody in. And you could also see that they were just like ready for some drama. And at one point, I noticed one of them turning. So it was this girl with black hair and this girl with blonde hair, and she's turned to the other one. And I can't hear anything, but I can see her pointing at you. So I couldn't really see like what they were talking about, but I could just tell they kept pointing at you, and then every time you came close, they would look at each other and be like, "See, this is the motherfucker." Like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? You were doing the same thing that everyone did, probably even better, and probably in like a safer, more experienced way.
Sure.
But then,
and also because I'm a pussy, so like my 100% goal in a mosh pit is to be safe.
Don't hurt me.
Yeah, seriously. There's not, and I know it's like probably not cool to admit, but like there's not a point in a mosh pit where I'm not like a little anxious. I think
that's
there's
like
a lot going on.
Yeah, and that's I'm sure the music and everything and the experience is like what's doing it. But but yeah, then she went to the bouncer, who was also standing on the other side. He was a shorter guy that was bald, and she started talking to him like intimately and kept pointing at you like this guy, and then like she talked to him for a while, and I was like, you're distracting him from his work.
And also, we're at a concert. Like, listen to the fucking music.
Yeah, exactly. And then she, at one point I saw her taking a picture with the bouncer, and then it was a few minutes later he like pulled you aside, and
right.
When
so we kind of surmised that maybe they were trying to get us kicked out,
right,
or me kicked out, and then that was him affirming like he thought I was aware of the situation.
You had no idea. So when he told you you're good, dude, and dabbed you, it was you were like, I have no idea what the fuck's going on. You were part of a conflict you were unaware of.
Right.
And but yeah, even her boyfriend ended up like hugging you at the end. That's big
That's
black
right.
guy.
Yeah. And I didn't know that was her boyfriend. I didn't even know any of this was going on. But we had made friends in the pit, and he gave me like one of those like handshake to close handshake hug combo,
and then
like 3
probably
combos.
Regretted it immediately because how sopping wet you were.
Yeah, but then I saw him leave with those 2 girls, and then Isaiah filled me in the car on what had been going down.
I'm glad I was able to be a wallflower on that and kind of give that experience. But dude, I like the difference between the 2 bouncers. The bald guy at one point you said was like bobbing his head.
Yeah,
this is
good shit.
Dude, the other guy, that tall one that we were first talking about, I didn't see him react to the fact that there was music around him once the whole time. Not once did he lose his cool and start like bobbing. Right. He was just constantly on lookout. Dude,
he was a fucking hawk.
He was a hawk, and I saw him like he would disappear, kick people out, and come back in a flash. Like it was crazy. And but
he put one guy in a rear naked choke.
Yeah,
remember I was talking about hardcore dancing? And one kid started trying to do hardcore dancing. He literally he's 6'4", leaned down and picked this dude up with a rear naked choke, and the dude just like softly tapped his arm to be like, I'm cool, man.
Good.
I never saw that guy the rest of the night. He didn't get kicked out, but I think he was just so embarrassed. He was like, all right.
I think we go sit back in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably a good decision. But yeah, they were, although I did hear between bands, they started playing some Michael Jackson, and I did see him start losing his cool and bobbing his head a little bit to that, and I'm like, okay, so that's what you're into. But I wanted to bring this up to you when Plenty started playing and they came out. Did you happen to see him like staring into the crowd and at one point flip flip off?
Yes.
Who
yeah.
was-
So I'm 90% sure that was it might have been after their first song that he did that.
Yeah. So I saw him during the first time staring.
Yeah.
And then it was into the second song he was continued to stare, and then
Yeah. So
hand that was on the frets.
So my my like musician experience,
Okay.
what I'm assuming is that he was asking for more of something in his
From the-
in-ear monitor.
Right.
So he was saying, I can't hear myself, or I can't hear my bassist, or whatever they were communicating. And he probably had a good rapport with whoever was running sound.
And that was his way of saying turn it up. Okay.
Yeah. I think it was like, you know, the way, because I can't see what's going on behind me, but like if I were in that situation, I would assume that and this is all just speculation, but
Okay.
like let's say he said he was trying to communicate, I can't hear my guitar, and then the guy like turned up the bass,
And he was like, "You
come on, man,
motherfucker."
like I don't, it's a shit. So I
Yeah.
think that they were playing around,
Okay.
and I think that it's likely it was in-house sound, right? A lot of places run that, but it's also likely that they had someone on tour who was running the in-house sound, so it's probably just his buddy, and he's like, dude, fuck you, man, like
Yeah.
up, and I think he
Up.
was using the middle finger to like turn it
Turn
up,
it up.
and also fuck you, kind of jovially.
Okay, because I'm standing there, and I thought, because the sound people usually are like front and center, they set up like around so they can hear it true, and so we were standing just a bit in front of that, and I kept looking at his line of sight and trying to see. I was like, so that's what I thought. I was like, is he he's looking at the sound guys, right? And I kept turning around and looking at you and the sound guys, but it really didn't look like he was looking at them.
Yeah.
It didn't look like I was trying to follow his line of sight, and it looked like he was looking directly in our direction.
It could have been
Like, directly
Okay,
at
here's the
us.
thing. Actually, I made eye contact with him a lot during the set. Actually,
Right.
And I don't know what that was about. And actually, it was like there were a few times where it was uncomfortable for me because I was thinking to myself, is he staring at me?
Right.
Or is he staring? Yeah. So I think that maybe I was wrong. Maybe he wasn't making eye contact with me during those times. I thought he was. Maybe he's looking past me. But there were some times where I felt like we were staring into each other's souls. He was transmitting some guitar knowledge to me.
Yeah, because the thing is, the subtleties of someone's eye movement and where they're looking, like we're pretty aware of it. Like we're pretty good at looking at it. Now, of course, there was some distance between us and him, and he totally could have, but it really seemed like he was just, and I thought, I was like, because you and I were standing there, you had a red shirt, I had a white shirt with red sleeves, everyone else around us is like wearing black shirts,
Yeah.
and we're like kind of standing out, and I don't think I necessarily look like the kind of person that's usually at a show, and I'm just standing there like staring at his guitar and staring at what he's doing, and then like looking up, and I'm like, is he fucking mugging me?
Yeah.
Is he looking at me? Is he mad that I'm like watching him play and like
No,
really
he's definitely not
infatuated?
mad for sure.
And then he flipped me off.
Yeah, I don't think he flicked you
Look,
off.
the world does not revolve around you, Jose, okay?
And I really hope that he wasn't making. I don't think he flicked us off. But if he did,
I don't know. I mean,
I'll take it.
There's this really small part of me that's like, just because of how many times I've run into strangers that tell me I look familiar to them, like there was just this I guess this part of me that thinks everything revolves around me. So when he was looking at me, I was like, does he think he knows me?
Right.
Does he think like I look familiar and
Yeah.
that like I'm a friend of his or something? And he's trying to figure it out, and then he put the finger on. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, man.
Maybe.
Or maybe he's just like sees some bro kind of dude at his show and is like, you like this music?
He's not like
No,
that.
I don't. Yeah. But
I can
I
tell
definitely
from
felt like it was a
interviews.
playful middle
Yeah,
finger.
for sure.
That's the one thing
Yeah.
I can absolutely vouch for is he didn't mean any ill intent with that middle finger. I know that. But yeah, anyway, dude, I can't thank you enough. I wanted to wear the shirt that you got us.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I wore it like on Wednesday. I wore it, and I was actually here like cleaning up. And dude, I got kind of sweaty, and the sweat made the shirt bleed a little bit, like the color. So I was like, damn, I got to wash this before wearing it again, because I totally wanted to wear it. Because I like that shirt. I love how it fits.
It's a
and
weird
it's a cool
design.
shirt.
It's like a ram on a mountain, and it's all pink and vaporwave looking.
Yeah, and I think the ram has like 3 eyes.
Yeah.
It's got a little eye in the center. Yeah, dude, that show, even though I had no idea who the bands were, I loved every one of the bands. And the last one, their vocals weren't really my thing. It was a little too much teen angst for me.
Me too.
Like, it was
Me
too
too.
much of that, like,
whiny.
Yeah, whiny. Like the music is really hardcore. When I listen to music that's like that, it builds anger in me, and it feels good. And I like that. That's like why I go to that music, is to get pumped and angry. So like I prefer vocals that are more like fit that, not like I'm gonna hit.
Right. And I think that you guys will remember on the way up there, I said that Periphery is not one of my favorites specifically because of the vocalist, you know.
Yeah.
But Misha Mansour and Mark Holcomb, who play guitar in the band, are some of the best guitarists in the industry right now. And I can't remember their drummers or their bass. Well, Nolly Getgood, they didn't have a bassist on this tour. Nolly Getgood was their bass player, which ironically, Misha has said in interviews that he was the best guitar player in Periphery because like he's that good, but he just happened to play bass in that band. And it was like, you know, Misha makes jokes about the best guitarist in Periphery was the bassist. And their drummer is also very, very good, obviously. But
yeah, so let me ask you, was the drummer in Pliny in Periphery?
I couldn't figure that out. I even tried
I thought it was the same. It looks like the same fucking guy.
I think that for that show, normally no. But I think for that show or maybe this tour, he was playing.
Yeah, the drummer in Pliny came out and played like rhythm guitar in Periphery.
Yeah, I think that might have been the case. Yeah, because Mark Holcomb is also not on tour with them also. So I think that they had a lot of fill-ins this tour.
Yeah, same guy, the same haircut, same beard, black shirt. And then he made that comment about the drummer, Periphery drummer.
Yeah.
Dude, honestly, the breakdown and everything he did at that, like, I liked his drumming more than I liked the drummer in Periphery.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
he was really fucking good. I was like, holy shit.
Job, yeah.
And then he goes into Periphery and he's like, nah, I'm going to play this.
Yeah, and then he's like,
what?
also, I'm the greatest guitar player. You know? Like, yeah.
Dude, yeah, it just got me super jazzed to then want to go to my own, not my own, but go to a concert, a metal concert of a band that I know.
Right.
I'm going to look like... Hopefully, if I can make it happen, if they ever come close, fucking Amon Amarth would be...
Yeah, and you know the thing that sucks is that they usually only play festivals in the United States. They usually tour Europe because they're Scandinavian.
And I've seen when they do, if it isn't like just a festivals, it's like only major cities like on one coast. Like they'll show up and play like Seattle and fucking LA and then dip, you know.
Yep.
But dude, if I can find it, because I don't really know too many other metal bands, but even the next time we go to some metal band that's a little more known, I want to try to listen to the music and get familiar with it so that I can really get into it. But dude, I was into it. I fucking loved it, and I can't thank you enough.
Yeah, thanks for coming. It was fun.
Fuck yeah, dude. Metal shows are the shit.
Welcome to Brain Drain, the latest innovation in memory storing. Last year, our leading mind scientist made a breakthrough in brain recording. This new cutting-edge mind technology allows us to pull every precious memory from your mind and store it for all to enjoy when you are finally dead. Come to our state-of-the-art facility and sign up for the marginally invasive procedure, lasting no longer than the time it takes you to read your favorite Stephen King novel. Have peace of mind knowing the story of how you saved Bobby using the Heimlich at Thanksgiving in 1988 will be told every year and not forgotten with the rest of you. Your family will spend hours poring over the easy-to-store and share 500-tape VHS box set containing every last experience from your whole life. Visit our Toledo storefront, located in the strip mall with Super Wheat Mart.
Brain Drain is not responsible for any information discovered by a loved one that may be unsavory. Your husband cheated on you with Mary, not us. Side effect may include feeling as if your true soul was trapped on 40,000 feet of magnetic tape. We are not liable for any other side effects yet unknown.
Brain Drain, a Popco brand.
Every week with this shit, we're just gonna show up every fucking week.
Yep.
Play my games at this arcade.
Play your games at the arcade. Yeah, man. I don't need quarters. I got this thing on a rope. I ching, pull it right back out.
I don't think you should tell me that.
What? What do you mean?
I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. At least give me the rope.
All right.
Also, we're out of Mountain Dews.
No! Got Code Red?
Yes, that's what I meant. When I said, do you think I meant regular Mountain Dew?
Well, I was just hoping. Listen,
we don't.
Code
why
Red.
Would any arcade carry? It's only Code Red.
Yeah. Even the water is code red. In the bathroom is what you wash your hands
Right,
with.
the toilet, everything.
All right. It's arcade.
This is the arcade, the Apple Arcade. It's the Apple Arcade is the Netflix of mobile games.
Yeah, and that is stylized capital A, capital R, capital C, and then the number 8. No.
Arcade.
Take away the A. Capital R, capital C, then the number 8. Arcade.
Arcade. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's exactly how it is.
All right.
I don't think Apple's going to like that. So each week we tell you to play a game. We play that game throughout the week. We come back and we talk about it, just like the Millennial Book Club, only with these mobile games. This week was Guildlings. That's the game we ended up playing this week. Let me read the little blurb here. Oh, come on. About Guildlings. This is Guildlings, a new story-driven episodic adventure brought to you by Asher Volmer, maker of Threes. IGF award-winning Jamie... Okay, I don't know these fucking people. Anyways, you'll climb through dark tunnels to reach mystical mountain temples. You'll match wits with goblins, ghosts, sentiment coffee makers. You might even save the world from tearing itself apart. Now, let me just apologize, guys. I picked this game because it's outside of, like, just looking at it. I was like, this is kind of outside of the thing that I might do, but it also looks like it could be pretty interesting.
I actually had high hopes.
Yeah. My hopes were that of this would just at least be something I could, like, be surprised with.
Yeah, I thought it might end up being a turn-based party RPG, which it sort of tries to be.
It is, in, like, this really, really loose definition kind of way. And I want to apologize to everybody that played it because it sucked.
Really? I loved it.
Did you?
No, God, no. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
I got to the point where you beat the fridge, which is like... I just wanted to see if what the combat was like. So maybe I played a half hour.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I didn't like it.
I got through a decent amount. So I got out of the house, and then you go to what they call Makeout Mountain. And
I am so glad I didn't get that far.
Well, the mountain's got some other, or Makeout Temple, and it's got a different name, but the sister is trying to meet her boyfriend up there, and so that's like your first quest, is get your sister to this boyfriend that's waiting for her. So this is the basis of the game. You live on this island. I've got this group of friends. It's in some weird kind of magical reality, and you don't have a cell phone, but you're given one. And it's this magical tome. So like that's the name of the cell phone. It's actually a really, really clever, cool idea. I think it's really cool.
I think it had a lot of potential. I think it was... I almost hesitate to say that it was a poor execution. I think it was just not for me.
Right.
You know, it's like geared towards younger players. And I think that the puzzles were way too simple.
Yeah.
And I didn't get super far. Maybe it gets harder. The puzzles were too simple. The combat was too simple. So I want to say it was a poor execution, but that's also through the lens of somebody who plays like very difficult games and enjoys a challenge, you know. So
right, and that's what I found myself thinking the whole time. I was like, this game just isn't for the typical video gamer. And it's so you get this phone, you turn it on, and then it essentially sucks you out and turns you into like a wisp, but like this little floating gem like in Sims, and now you're the guild leader, and you have these weird powers. You can do some things, but you have to recruit people and build like a little guild, and then go through and go on an adventure. So and when it says story driven, most of the game is text
reading.
It's a lot of you're having conversations with your sister, and then everything is based around mood. So all the people that you make friends with, when it comes time for you to choose how to talk to them, like choose like what to say, your answers have a chance to affect their mood. Either, and when you affect their mood in good ways, they like you more, and that's how you make them level up.
Right, and they also have access to different abilities when they're in a good mood, and they can't use them if they're in a grumpy mood.
Exactly,
grumpy.
And in fact, you can only use like each person has like a specific mood. So like the sister, she can be in a calm mood, but she can't use her ability. She has to be in a cool mood, a mood with like the sunglasses on, and then she can use her ability. And her ability is making things. It's like animate or something. She just makes inanimate objects come to life. which is kind of cool. Like, so you'll encounter a log that's blocking your way, and then if she's in that good mood, she can animate it, and it like gets out of the way. But yeah, dude, the combat was like, it wasn't combat.
No,
it was like mood battling.
Mm-hmm.
Like you would be faced with like this monster, and it would do things that would change your mood and affect your mood, and you had to like do things to it to like change your mood. You could charge your phone, which is like a whole thing. Like having a charge on your phone is, you're trying to keep your phone charged the whole time. It was, again, all these little things that sound like it could make it really good, but then it was just kind of,
Well, I'll tell you, my takeaway is very short and simple.
Okay.
It's that this is a game that, because of the amount of reading that's involved and the amount of attention that it demands, it needs to be in the binge it category, but it was not engaging enough for me to put it there.
Right.
I'm not going to sit on my couch and play this game.
No.
You know?
Yeah, it's not something you can just turn on and take a quick shit, because some of you might get locked into a conversation that's going to take
10 minutes.
10 minutes just talking to somebody, and then not really progress anywhere in the actual game. And it's it just didn't really seem like a game, really. That doesn't seem like there was much of a challenge. Like, you were kind of guiding these people through and making choices, but it really feels like it could be for somebody like maybe like a teenager or someone who isn't really into games but just wants to have a story told to them or something. And it is geared more towards like a high school age because of all the things that you're encountering and stuff. So maybe we're just too old. We're old dudes, and it's not for us. But I definitely. I mean, if you tried it and you experienced it, I mean, tell us what you think. You can always call in to, our show and leave a message at 706-200-1213 or write in roadsodamail@gmail.com and tell us what you think about it. Maybe you played it and you're like, well, it sucks for me, but maybe my kid will really like it. And, you never know. It was, I loved the art. I loved all that kind of stuff. Like, it just seemed like it was going to be something cool. But, it wasn't. So you picked next week's game. And next week's game is, do you want to go ahead?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Next week on the arcade, we play Atone, stylized in all caps with a colon, Heart of the Elder Tree.
Ooh, sounds mythical.
The gods have abandoned Midgard. Once a prosperous land teeming with mythical beasts and beings, it now rots from the inside, tainted by unknown forces. Odin's chosen guardians of the realm are gone. In their absence, the sacred elder tree they swore to protect is exposed to abuse and manipulation. Now, the only remnants of hope reside in Estra, the daughter of mankind's great leader. All right, so basically from what I'm getting, interactive story, we got puzzles, and we got combat. All right, so it's
does it call it like an RPG or something?
It's from what I understand, the combat is similar to like a Guitar Hero game. The combat is all rhythm based, right?
Interesting.
Yeah, so there are puzzles and there's rhythm based combat. Interesting. It's story driven, which is a hot word I'm learning. So we'll see what it's like. We'll play it, and I'll let you know next week how much I hate it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hating it. Definitely.
Hey, Dave, can I talk to you for a minute?
What's going on?
I was driving to work and I hit a bum. He's dead. I panicked and I put him in the trunk of my car. Now I don't know what to do.
That's a no-brainer. Just check into a Motel 9.
How is staying in a motel gonna help me?
It's not just a motel. It's a Motel 9. You know, they'll close the blinds for you.
At Motel 9, discretion is our obsession. With unstable floors and soundproof walls, no one hears a thing. And none of the staff speaks a lick of English. And our unique wide pipe plumbing can handle 10-pound load flushes. You can make anything disappear 10 easy pounds at a time. Like your neighbor's Shih Tzu or a stripper. At Motel 9, you can rest easy. We'll close the blinds for you.
Hey, Bill, can I show you something in my trunk?
Hourly and nightly rates starting at $25.
Millennial Book Club. Millennial Book Club.
And here we are with the miraculous baritone choir, folks, fresh off the boat from Norway. You've never heard anything like this in your life. When's the last time you've heard the miraculous baritone choir?
Never. A lot of choirs always have like those other ranges. It's like, I
No.
just want to hear the low.
It's all baritones, and it's not even just like they have a tenor and then it's just they use all actual baritones. Isn't that an instrument?
Yes.
Yeah, that's all they use.
Yeah. I don't think it is, but I want it to be.
It's very loud. This is the Millennial Book Club. Thank you for joining us on this great segment, the MBC, everybody. I'm looking forward to the day when I can just always call it the MBC and everyone just knows what we're talking about.
Yep.
But it's the Millennial Book Club, and where we just watch Netflix originals. Don't worry, there's no reading involved. We would never, ever read.
I wouldn't subject you to that.
We would never. And so this is just, all we're doing is we're watching Netflix originals, and we come back and we talk about them. This week, we were watching Locke and Key. Whoops, I brought up my phone. So yeah, Locke and Key is a nice Netflix original, and it's geared more towards. I'm kind of just killing time while I can look up the little Wikipedia blurb on it. But as I bring it up, it says what it actually does say is Locke and Key is an American comic book series written by Joe Hill, illustrated by Gabriel Rodriguez, and published by IW Publishing. Now, last week I told you, I was like, it's written by the son of Stephen King, right? I was almost positive that it was, like almost 100% positive, because there is a
But it's not.
it might have just been when I saw the first book, like at Barnes and Noble, when I picked it up, there might have been a forward by Stephen King's son, something like that. But I was almost positive it was. But either way, it's geared towards like a younger group, maybe not really
Like mid-teens?
mid-teens. I would say like older teens, because there's definitely some, but it's a lot of like, we're in high school and we're dealing with like high school stuff while all this crazy things are going on. Let me find the actual. Following their father's murder, 3 siblings move into a house filled with reality-bending keys, from the comics by Joe Hill and Gabriel Rodriguez. So, how much did you watch?
I watched 2 episodes.
Okay, me too. In fact, I think I watched like many, many more, because I paid attention mostly to 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And then after that, it just kept playing, and I was like, that's background noise, right? What'd you think?
It's pretty good. I don't know if Mandy and I are going to finish it. I think
Okay, so you guys were watching it together?
Yeah.
Cool.
I try to involve Mandy in the Millennial Book Club. I tell her to write in and call in, but she won't.
Well, hey, man, if she can write in through you, that would be great. If she can tell you, like, hey, we should watch this next week.
So I think that the pacing for the first episode was kind of slow, which is okay. That's typical. World building or whatever, character development. The actors are okay, but it was like very clear that they were acting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was kind of like I found it difficult to get immersed sometimes.
Coming off of Dracula, it's kind of
absolutely
great acting.
And I think the one character that I really did like was the Echo in the well, like that witch that was going to be in the well.
Right.
But then when she comes out of the well, I was like, I don't like you anymore. You know?
Yeah. Now that you're out in the light of day and you're like a regular lady.
I thought it was going to be like dark. Like she's in the well because of like But anyway, so I don't know if we're going to keep watching it. I think it was definitely geared towards an audience that was younger than me, and I think that they did some cool things as far as like making it what am I trying to say, like science fiction-y, and like otherworldly and magical,
right.
But like I said, I think it was geared, the show is geared for an audience younger than me, and the acting, it was hard to get immersed in, so I think this might be one of the first Millennial Book Clubs I was just not really that stoked on.
Yeah, I wasn't super stoked on it either. I mean, it was good enough to just get through the 2 episodes. And yeah, eventually, I kind of noticed the witch lady. She, even though she looks like a normal lady, she does do some horrific shit. There's one part where she kills a kid, just like point blank.
Oh yeah, she chokes him. No, that was a man.
Did you see she chokes that man. She's always. I don't know if it ever explains why she's only like shoving like donuts and shit down her mouth.
No.
Like every time you see her eating,
A lot
she's
of
just
sweets,
like
yeah.
a lot of sweets. It's really weird. But she also like so yeah, they're in this, as it says, their father passes away, and their father is from this town called Matheson, which somewhere in the Northeast. And after he dies, they all want to go back to the house that he grew up in, which is like this massive mansion called. So their last name is Locke, and they're like their family is well known in that town. Like everybody knows this family, even though they've left and they've been gone for a long. Everyone knows them. So they come back, and the kids are all known, and everyone knows that their dad died, and everyone knows that their house is called Key House, and it's like this haunted ass fucking place where crazy shit happens. And yeah, they ended up, the littlest kid ends up finding these keys because he hears like these whispers, and he keeps following it until it gets louder and louder, and he finds a key, and he doesn't know what these keys are, and that witch ends up telling him these keys can do magical things. There's a key that lets you go anywhere in the world, right? And he finds that key because it's attached to a bracelet that his father gave to his sister.
Right.
So he breaks that key, and then he goes and he tests it. He goes, I want some ice cream. And then he puts it in a door in her bedroom and goes through, and he's in the ice cream shop. And he's like, holy shit, right? And then he tries to prove it to his sister, and he goes, check this out. Where do you want to go? Eiffel Tower? And he opens the door, and there's no Eiffel Tower there.
Right.
So she's like, you fucking idiot. Get out of here, right?
And so I guess, doesn't it have to be somewhere you've seen before? Or something
Has to
like
be
that?
somewhere with a door.
Oh.
She's like, there's no door on the Eiffel Tower.
Right.
Got to be able to walk out a door, right? And it was like, I don't remember which episode it was, but there was one where she comes out this door, and there's like these kids playing like out on a basketball court somewhere. And one of the kids has a key, and she's like, let me have that key. And he's like, who are you, lady? And she goes, I'll show you my key if you show you yours. And he's like, okay. And he like walks up to her, and she opens that door, and on the other side is a subway station like in New York City, and she takes him and she shoves him through the door, and he falls all the way across the platform and falls onto the tracks just as a train goes and flies by. And then she shuts the door, and she looks at the kid, and she goes, anyone else? And I'm like, dude, holy shit.
All right.
Like,
All right.
fucking murked this kid. But yeah, it seemed the story is actually really good. It's like really interesting.
Yeah, I was captivated by a lot of the concepts.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, who knows? Mandy and I, if we end up, having nothing to watch, we might finish it. But
Absolutely
it's not
nothing
something
else,
that I was like, we got to watch this next episode.
Yeah, I think it's, again, one of those things, like all the themes are much better suited for a younger, like when you read it, it says it's for like teens,
Right.
So it's definitely like high schoolers or people just out of high school and stuff like that are looking to have that connection, because everything's taking place in like a high school, and the stories revolve around the kids that are in that age group. Just real quick, I just remembered that Nelly of the Jeff and Nelly combo, she reaches out actually kind of often, but I always neglect to talk about what she brings up because oftentimes it's on like Instagram and stuff. So I just kind of forget about it. But last week, just real quick on the arcade, or a couple weeks ago, she said, I flippin' love Grindstone.
Yeah, Nelly.
It's my favorite game so far of the arcade, but I love puzzle games, so I'm always more drawn to this type of game. Not quite one of those Candy Crush people. I've literally binged it since I started playing. Anytime I even have a few free minutes, I get lost in the game.
Yeah.
So she was very happy with that.
I'm still playing.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for you.
I mean, I'm not that far. I think I'm on like level 33 or something like that. It's starting to get like frustrating, but
that's what you said last time. But then you overcame that frustration. You kept getting through. That's all right. See, that's the kind of stuff we're looking for. Those games that we're going to keep playing after the segment. But this is what I wanted to. So also, I gotta address something else. This isn't necessarily the segment that I would typically address this in, but 2 episodes ago in our Bite episode, where we talked about Bite, the batteries in the microphones were dying, and there was a lot of static in that episode, and I haven't addressed it in any way. But she did. She said, side note, we missed the redrop of that Bite episode, because anytime something gets fucked up, I reproduce it, but there's nothing I could have done outside of re-recording it, because there's static from the microphones. There's a ton of static, so we had to skip it, but have been waiting to see if you released it. You may have addressed it at the end of the firing episode, but we stopped listening when you said Dracula was good. Fucked. Yeah, see, check that out. We didn't want any spoilers, and Jeff was convinced that if you loved it that much, it must be good because Isaiah only likes anime. So we are watching it. Then she said, where did she say again? Watched the first 2 episodes and I loved the twist endings. It's fun for me, but I think a little too gory for Jeff to stay paying attention to it. So yeah, I'm sorry, Jeff, man. I did not know that the gore was something. The reason I liked it so much was because I'm not into that genre. I'm not into the scary thing. I'm not super down on that. So when I saw it and I was interested in it, I was like, this is just well-made television. Mm-hmm. And I think the gore and stuff just doesn't get to me anymore. I think I'm a little desensitized because of the internet and whatnot. Yeah. But I didn't know that about you, Jeff, man. So I'm sorry, but I should have made that preface of saying binge it if you're into. At least just give it a try, I guess. I mean, binge it if you're into scary kind of stuff, but I wasn't. So anyway, that was Lock and Key. Lock and Key was fucking okay. I would say okay. Watch it if it's there.
Yeah, watch it if it's there. I wouldn't throw it in the go ride a bike category, but it's just give it a shot. It might be something you're into.
If someone's like, hey, let's turn this on.
I'm gonna also say I think people who maybe like Harry Potter or don't fucking what is it called? What do they do, Jesus? Don't crucify me.
Don't crucify. What do they do?
Don't put these in the same category. Or for putting these in the same category. But if you like a Harry Potter or like Twilight or any of these young adult kind of magical things, you'll probably get down on it, But
right. And I think and I agree. That is kind of what we're looking at. But anyway, so now we got to pick one for next week. So this week this actually I remember seeing this come out almost a year ago, and I think we discussed watching it, but I'm 99.99% positive we never did, but it was on there a lot. It was always in our face, and it's called The Umbrella Academy. You might not remember what it is, but Ellen Page heads up a killer ensemble cast in this offbeat and gorgeously made superhero series based on Gerard Way's Eisner Award-winning comics.
I'm in.
So I'm in too. We all know that the Eisner Awards, Eisner Award winners are always. It's always got to be a great story, something great, and if they translate it well to the screen, I'm sure it's going to be pretty entertaining. So even though this isn't a brand new original, I think we'll find some cool, good shit in there. And if you guys want to tell us what you think of Lock and Key, you can write into roadsodamail@gmail.com, or you can call and leave a message, 706-200-1213. Leave us a message, and we will play it right here on the air so you can be a part of the show. And we'll catch you on the next Millennial Book Club with The Umbrella Academy.
Umbrella Academy.
I hope they used that song at some point. Umbrella, Ella. I hope they do.
And then they shittily add Academy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Woo! That one was a doozy. Came in.
Had a bite up front.
Yeah.
But still went down smooth.
It did. I enjoyed the way it hit the palate.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you learn?
I learned that I might have to get a vasectomy within 1 month of my 50th birthday at my own expense if I live in Alabama.
Do you have plans of living in Alabama?
No.
If you were a rocket scientist, you'd live in Alabama. You know what I love? Is that reaction. But isn't Alabama has the highest amount of the most rocket scientists working at NASA. There's this region in Birmingham where they all come out of. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a really there's this. Yeah, there's. I heard that from this guy that went to Alabama, and so for college, they got a lot of rocket scientists. Weird. I learned that this Valentine's Day, you could name a cockroach after your terrible ex-girlfriend and have it fed to a rat.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a great service.
I also learned that 2 girls were trying to get me kicked out of the Plenty Periphery show.
Yeah, they
unbeknownst to me.
Unbeknownst to you, which is, great. You played the perfect You played it perfectly because you didn't do shit wrong, and you didn't, and everyone realized it except for those awful people. Guys and gals, thank you so much for listening to the show. Thank you for being here, and we love having you. We don't ever plan on stopping, and we hope to see you again on the next episode. Don't forget to watch. What did we choose to watch?
Umbrella Corporation.
The Umbrella Academy.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, guys, don't forget to watch the Umbrella Academy for the Millennial Book Club, and don't forget to play Atone, Heart of the Elder Tree is what it's called. That one actually looks like it's going to be a little more interesting. Sorry about Guildlings. And you can send your reviews to roadsodamail@gmail.com or call in and leave a message, 706-200-1213. Now let's get Justin the fuck out of here because he has to get his...
My very last tattoo session for my sleeve.
That's right, his sleeve is almost done. He's got this sleeve completed faster than just about any person I've ever known. I've known people take it years. This has taken you months.
Yeah.
And kudos, man. It looks dope. How about next time we record when it's all finished, we can take some pictures and I'll post it with the show.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, because it's a really fucking cool tattoo.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Wish him luck. And we'll catch you next week. Oh, yeah, wait. Hey. Go to bed early.
Go to bed early.